For this persuasive speech, I chose to write about the use of cell phones in young children and why I feel it is appropriate. The topics and main central ideas that I will be focusing on are the benefits, the studies, and the effects. When you leave your house, what's the first thing you reach for before leaving? Car keys, check. Wallet, check. Cell phone, check. As an adult, there are many reasons that we don't want to leave the home without our cell phones, and those same reasons, if not even more, apply to children. Think about a situation that you're in where you feel unsafe, unsure, or in a panic. Whether it's needing important information, needing to reach out for help, or simply looking up information that you don't have access to other than by the palm of your hand. A study done by a researcher of the name Nielsen shows and explores the facts that about 75% of children in the United States between the ages of 8 and 10 have access to their own phones. There's multiple benefits, which include educational purposes, communication, entertainment, and also a sense of learning responsibility. For educational purposes, there's multiple reasons why the cell phone could be a good idea. For some children, learning differently and being able to ask the questions in their own way on their cell phone provides them with answers they can better understand. It allows access for apps and tools that can keep up, that help the children keep up with their classwork, as well as communicating with their educators, especially during a time of remote learning. They provide students with better studying habits like time management and organization skills. Researching more current events is also another plus because a lot of the things that students are learning now aren't necessarily updated in textbooks in which they have access to. My biggest thing is communication between a parent and child is key, as well as trust. With busy lives and time management, parents as well as our children are more pressed for time. Allowing quick and easy access to communication is a great source for children to have. Being able to communicate quickly can be a convenience, but also a necessity. Having the ability to reach out to any adult in an emergent situation, especially where most homes nowadays no longer have access to landline phones. I always think about my own son who's 6 years old. And although he knows how to get into mine and has access to mine, if he were ever in a situation where he needed his own and couldn't get to mine or to another adult's, I would never forgive myself. We could get a landline, but if there were, a power outage or he physically couldn't get to one. A lot of people probably think that with cell phones come a lot of responsibility, and young children tend to, lose things and so on and so forth. But from the beginning, if you set boundaries and responsibility and accountability, it will help instill responsibility in your children. Making sure that they understand that it is a challenge to keep these things safe and not broken for emergency situations or entertainment purposes. Them realizing from the beginning that if they, break it or lose it, they won't have access to these things, and that can be important. And there's also the option of GPS location. My son goes to his dad's house every other weekend, and being able to, see if he goes and, plays with his brothers outside, which I don't completely feel comfortable with, but being able to see where he is at any given point makes me feel a lot better. A study done by a Harvard researcher by the name of Emily Weinstein shows that owning a cell phone provides multitasking skills, which leads to brain development as adults. Not being overwhelmed by many tasks that are expected to be done as children progress in age, whether it be their education or in their future careers. She goes on to say that having access to social media platforms with good parental monitoring can be a way of creative expressions in ways that aren't always captured. Children and teens with cell phones access often use their cell phone consumption to inform and inspire their creative expression. With proper education and safe and honest cell phone use, children can learn at a younger age what is right and wrong with this technology, knowing what to research, who to speak with, what to avoid, and so on. Learning this earlier allows for a lesser chance of an older child giving into social pressures of keeping up with their peers. Thank you for your time.